Have you ever noticed something strange? You pull into your driveway after a long day, and somehow your dog is already waiting at the door, not walking toward the door, not hearing you arrive and then reacting, already there. Most people assume the explanation is simple. Maybe your dog hears your car. Maybe they recognize your footsteps. Maybe they hear your keys jingling from somewhere inside the house. But what if none of those things is the real answer? What if your dog knows you're coming home long before your car appears? Long before your footsteps reach the driveway? Long before there's anything to hear at all? Here's what's actually happening. Your dog has been tracking your return since the moment you left. Not through magic, not through telepathy, but through a collection of biological systems so remarkable that science is still trying to understand exactly how they work together. And here's where it gets even more powerful. By the end of this video, you're going to realize that your dog isn't simply waiting for you. They've built an entire internal world around you, and most owners never notice it. Let's start with the explanation that almost everyone believes, the sound theory. You come home, your dog is already standing at the door, so naturally, you assume they heard your car. After all, dogs can hear frequencies humans can't. Their hearing is extraordinary. The explanation feels obvious. It has to be your engine. It has to be your footsteps. It has to be some sound you aren't noticing. But here's what most people don't realize. Many dogs begin their waiting behavior long before their owner's arrival becomes audible. Behavioral scientists have observed dogs pacing, positioning near doors, staring through windows, and becoming alert up to 20 minutes before their owner arrives. Think about that for a second. 20 minutes, no footsteps, no keys, no car engine, nothing to hear. Researchers who study canine behavior have spent decades documenting this phenomenon. And the question was never whether it happens. The question was always why. Because if sound isn't the answer, then what is? Here's what's actually happening. Your dog starts tracking your return the moment you leave. And the first system involved is something many scientists call a scent clock. Every morning, your scent spreads throughout your home. On your bed, your clothes, your coffee mug, the chair where you sat, the hallway you walked through. To you, those scents seem constant. To your dog, they aren't. A dog's nose doesn't just detect scent, it measures change. It measures fading. Studies on domestic dogs reveal that their sense of smell is extraordinarily sensitive. Researchers often compare it to detecting a teaspoon of sugar dissolved in millions of gallons of water. But what makes this even more meaningful is what that sensitivity allows them to do. As the day passes, your scent slowly becomes weaker, hour by hour, moment by moment. And your dog notices, not consciously, the way you watch a clock, but biologically, chemically. Your absence leaves a trail that gradually changes over time, and your dog is reading that change constantly. Like a countdown. Like a clock made entirely of scent. You think your dog is simply sniffing your shirt, but actually, they may be reading time itself. Think about the evenings when you're late. Maybe dinner runs longer than expected. Maybe traffic delays you. Maybe work keeps you longer than usual. Your partner says your dog seems restless, pacing, whining softly, unable to settle down. Most people assume that's just missing you, but here's what most people don't realize. Your dog's most reliable timing system may have reached the point where it expects you to return, and when you don't arrive, something feels wrong. Not because they think you've abandoned them, because the world stopped behaving the way their internal model predicted. Animal cognition research shows that dogs rely heavily on environmental predictability, and scent is one of the strongest signals available to them. So the next time your dog lies on your jacket while you're gone, remember, they may not just be seeking comfort, they may be calibrating their clock. And that's only the beginning. Because scent isn't the only system involved. Your dog is also using something hidden inside their own body, a biological clock. You probably think of your daily schedule as ordinary. Wake up, leave for work, come home, repeat, nothing special. But to your dog, your routine becomes part of the architecture of their world. A 2022 study from the University of Vienna found that dogs living in predictable environments show significantly stronger anticipatory behaviors before expected events. In simple terms, their bodies learn the rhythm of life. Here's what's actually happening. Your dog's biology begins synchronizing with your schedule. The same way your body learns when it's time to sleep. The same way you wake up before your alarm sometimes. Your dog's internal rhythms adjust to yours. Day after day, week after week, month after month. And eventually, their body starts preparing for your return before you actually arrive. Think about that for a second. Your dog doesn't just know your schedule. Their biology reorganizes around it. This is where most owners get it wrong. When routines change unexpectedly, they assume the dog is merely confused. But sometimes it's deeper than that. Imagine working from home unexpectedly, or arriving home 3 hours later than normal, or suddenly changing your schedule for several weeks. Your dog isn't simply adapting to a new timetable. Their entire prediction system is trying to recalibrate. Researchers studying canine stress responses have found that unpredictable schedules are associated with elevated stress markers in some dogs. Not because dogs demand perfection, but because certainty feels safe, and uncertainty feels difficult. What makes this even more meaningful is that your dog never blames you. They simply keep adjusting, keep learning, keep trusting, and then we reach the part that changes everything, because your dog doesn't rely on scent alone. They don't rely on biological rhythms alone. They use all of these systems together. At the same time, researchers who study animal cognition call this multi-modal anticipatory behavior, a complicated scientific phrase. But the meaning is beautiful. It means your dog combines multiple streams of information into one prediction. Scent, time, routine, environmental patterns, tiny daily signals you've never noticed. And here's where it gets even more powerful. All of those signals begin pointing toward the same conclusion. You're coming home. Imagine this. You leave for a quick grocery run. 45 minutes pass, then an hour. When you arrive, someone tells you your dog has been sitting by the door for 15 minutes. You never called. You never texted. You were still blocks away. Yet your dog was already waiting. Or maybe it's your child. Every afternoon, almost exactly the same time. Your dog moves to the window before the school bus appears. Not after. Before. Day after day. Or maybe one evening you stay late at work. Hours later than normal. Suddenly, your dog becomes restless. Won't settle. Won't eat. Keeps pacing. Something feels wrong. Not because your dog knows exactly where you are, but because every signal they've learned to trust has stopped lining up. The clock ran out. The prediction failed. And they notice. Studies from the Max Planck Institute, exploring animal cognition, suggest that dogs build remarkably sophisticated predictive models of human behavior, models operating across multiple sensory systems simultaneously. Think about that for a second. Your dog has spent years building a version of you inside their mind. Your scent, your schedule, your habits, your routines. The sound of your car was never the answer. It was only the final confirmation. The last piece of evidence. The thing your dog already suspected long before you arrived. And this is the thing your dog has been waiting for. Not for you to be perfect. Not for you to be late. Not for you to arrange your entire life around them. But for you to understand something. They have built their entire internal world around the architecture of your presence. And every single time you walk through that door, you are proof that their world still holds. Now, before we keep going, if you're learning something new about your dog, hit like and subscribe. That's how we get these videos to more dog owners who want to love their dogs the right way. So what do you do with all of this? Do you need a perfect schedule? No. Do you need to never be late again? Of course not. Here's what most people don't realize. The science points towards something much simpler. Consistency. Not perfection. Consistency. Your dog doesn't need you home at exactly the same minute every day. They need to understand the world they live in. The same goodbye phrase, the same morning routine, the same predictable patterns. Small signals, repeated consistently. Those signals tell your dog something incredibly important. This world makes sense. And a dog, living in a world that makes sense, can relax, can trust, can wait peacefully. So the next time you walk through your front door and find your dog already waiting, remember what you're really seeing. Not an extraordinary hearing, not luck, not a coincidence. You're seeing a living system of trust, a scent clock, a biological rhythm, a cascade of predictions built from thousands of ordinary moments shared with you. Your dog isn't waiting because they heard you. Your dog is waiting because they know you. And in ways science is still uncovering, they've been preparing for your return all day long. Before you go, tell us in the comments, which surprised you most? The scent clock, the biological rhythm, or the full signal cascade? Because your answer helps us decide what to uncover next. And somewhere nearby, your furry friend is probably already watching the door, waiting for the person who makes their world feel complete.